thought and evolution. Shaheed Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto was aware of this intrinsic connection between literature and democracy. In 1995, while inaugurating the International Conference of Writers, she announced the institution of these two awards. Then, as now, Mr. Fakhr Zaman was the chairman of the Academy. The institution of these awards is one of her lasting contributions to the promotion of both literature and democracy. It is my fervent hope that the institution of these awards will serve to promote both literature and democracy in the country. On this occasion, I wish to reiterate our commitment to defend, protect, and promote democracy in Pakistan. Once again, I wish to compliment the Pakistan Academy of Letters for organizing this event and welcome the participants. I wish you all good luck. All of us. Following which, we shall proceed to the next section of our program this afternoon, and this pertains to what it's all about, the awarding of the awards for prizes themselves to those who deserve them so ably and so obviously. Here is the citation for Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto, on which this award is based. Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto was a political leader of world stature. Although she did not plan a career in politics as a young person, in time she became a champion of human rights, a staunch believer in democracy, and a beacon of hope to many. She devoted her life to carrying forward the mission of her great father, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Shaheed, to empower the common man, to safeguard the rights of women and minorities, and to transform Pakistan into a welfare state. Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto's charismatic personality was a source of inspiration to millions in Pakistan and around the world. The high degree of clarity in her thinking and her practical astuteness were well reflected in her writings and speeches, which always carried great effect. She cultivated these skills with care and held creative communities in great esteem. Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto was the first woman elected to lead a Muslim state and served as Prime Minister of Pakistan 2 times. Just a few days before her death in 2007, she finalized the manuscript of her new book titled Reconciliation, Islam, Democracy, and the West, which came out towards the end of 2008. Her previous 2 books had presented her as an author of academic and popular interest. Foreign Policy in Perspective, one of her books, indicated a future direction of her career. A decade later, her autobiography, Daughter of the East, was a favorite of many a reading list worldwide and was translated into many languages. Several collections of her speeches and works have been compiled, including The Way Out and Pakistan's Foreign Policy. Her struggle for democracy began in early youth, and she did not cease to foster it until her very last breath and martyrdom. Her assassination and its likely link to the international war against terrorism were not overlooked. Everywhere her tragic death was noted with deep sadness as a loss to the world. In recognition of her great courage, her indomitable free spirit now inhabiting her people, and her steadfast struggle for democracy, the late Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto has been chosen for the Quaid-e-Azam International Award for Democracy 2008. I would like to request Mr. Fakhr Zaman, Chairman of the Pakistan Academy of Letters, to please step down from the stage and present the award to Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto Shaheed, actually being received on her behalf by Mr. Faratullah Babar, who is representing her here. The Quaid-e-Azam International Award for Literature, for which the Academy's citation reads, Mr. Peter Kurman, born 1941, the Swedish poet, brought out his first collection of poetry, Oops, Viktigt, in 1965, and has since published more than a dozen books of poetry, criticism, and anthologies. He has also published Meltdown or Meltdown 1998, he'll correct me on that one, described as a novel about love, and has translated John Lennon's lyrics into Swedish. His own work has been translated into several languages of the subcontinent. Kurman was for many years the president of the Swedish Writers' Union and was then the chairman of the Swedish Joint Committee for Literary and Artistic Professionals. Kurman is also the initiator of the Swedish digital printing house Podium, which uses the latest print-on-demand technology to distribute new writing in limited editions. He literally floated the fine idea behind the literary cruises in the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, and the Aegean in the 1990s. These cruises led to the creation of two dynamic writers and translators centers under the auspices of UNESCO on the Swedish island of Gotland and the Greek island of Rhodes. Known for speaking out on matters of broad contemporary concern, Kurman's responses to the present-day realities of life are a sophistication of the sublime, which is often inaccessible. He is boldly optimistic in the face of the sorrows of life. His poetry is oracular in character. Love, courage of conviction, and hope are the cardinal points of his poetic faith. Yet he rations his words and befriends his readers with kindly care. His deep affection for mankind is reflected in both his poetry and prose, and in his commitment to virtues of peace, forgiveness, and enlightenment. As he stated in 2003, quote, "We writers, scientists, philosophers, artists have always been an international community, bound in solidarity. Our languages, values, and affiliations are without boundaries." End quote. In recognition of his multidimensional and transcultural literary pursuits, Mr. Peter Kurman has been chosen for the Quaid-e-Azam International Award for Literature 2008. I would now request Mr. Fakhr Zaman, Chairman of the Pakistan Academy of Letters, to please step down from the stage, and also request Mr. Kurman to receive the award on the floor of the House. Thank you. We are happy the awards are in the hands where they belong. I would call upon Mr. Faratullah Babar